Official Dalek Reads. Read by the Emperor of the Daleks. It was a day like any other. On the muzzle world of Mechanus, bathed in the dull, flickering light of its vast mechanical suns, the surface shimmered under the constant grind of cogs and gears, sprawling cities of steel, the chrome rising against a backdrop of complex machinery. In these cities, mechanoids thrived, their existence interwoven with the very fabric of the planet. Robot beings characterized by an angular design and sleek exoskeletons. They were an advanced civilization dedicated to order and precision. Mechanoids had long since cast away the shadows of war, its inhabitants governed by the principle of efficiency and functionality, but peace, like all things susceptible to time, can only last for so long. Metal skies darkened as ominous shadows loomed on the horizon, a treacherous storm heralding the approach of an ancient foe, the Daleks. The Dalek fleet emerged from the depths of space, their ships a terrifying sight. Engineering for fear and destruction, they glided through the void, with their metallic bodies glistening under the distant starlight. At the helm of the largest Dalek warship, Exterma, Dalek Sex stood, resolute, an icon of fear for many. As a master tactician, prepare the troops for descent, Dalek Sex commanded, his voice a clinical monotone echoing with authority devoid of emotion. His Dalek comrades responded, "Exterminate! Exterminate!" The chilling chorus, the enthusiasm palpable for impending extermination of their old age rivals. To Mechanus! Sec bellowed, leading the charge against the mechanoids, their long-standing adversaries. As the ship broke through the upper atmosphere, lights blinked chaotically across the control panels, reflecting the chaos that was to come. The Daleks landed in a chosen area of sprawling metropolis, a large expanse of terrain that housed mechanoids. The moment the metallic shells opened, the mechanoids sprang into action. Their sensors, pinging and whirring, registered the arrival of their enemies. "What is this intruder?" the leader of the mechanoids, Mechadox, declared. Through the communications array, his voice designed to resonate above the chaotic noise. "Prepare our defensive measures. We will not yield to those creatures of chaos." The streets erupting in clanking and whirling as mechanoids swiftly armed themselves with an array of precision and weaponry, transforming their peaceful city into a battlefield. Steel limbs turned into lethal weapons with bursts of energy as rows of mechanoids assembled, ready for combat. With the calculated efficiency, "You will perish!" Sek advanced, followed by his cohort of Daleks. The resolve steeled. A wave of power surged through them. They erupted forward, unleashing a volley of deadly fire upon the mechanoids. The cacophony of metal clashing against metal filled the air as two factions collided. The ground quaked beneath the weight of their firepower. Laser beams, energy pulses, mechanical limbs flew in every direction as the battle raged. A ballet designed to eliminate all order. Dalek Sek, in the midst of it all, demonstrated effective leadership, a mixture of calculated strategy and raw aggression. "Advance! Target mechanoids! Exterminate!" He commanded. His warriors unleashed energy blasts, cutting down the mechanoids with ruthless efficiency. Mechanoids, however, were no mere victims. Their programming dictated survival. Each fallen ally ignited fire within. "For America's Mechadox roared, launching counter-attacks, leading their ranks with precision and movement carefully calculated. They adapted to the Daleks' relentless assaults, armoring themselves against the deadly onslaught. As the battle continued, Sek led the squadron into the city. His tactical acumen was unmatched, but in the chaos, his focus wavered, just for a moment. The split second of vulnerability that allowed a mechanoid sniper to find his mark, an energy pulse struck Sek directly, sending him spiraling backward. The sound of clattering metal echoed through the devastation. "Disable! Disable!" his fellow Daleks shouted, trying to reverse the damage inflicted upon their leader. Spice of panic intruded upon them. Dalek Sek was essential to their operation. In those fleeting moments, Sek's reality slipped into disarray. As his senses blurred, he felt a surge of pain, an unfamiliar sensation that clashed his Dalek instincts. Emotions ignited: fear, aggression, rage, all emerging into something paradoxical yet powerful. But within chaos exists clarity. He realized he could no longer remain passive. To survive was to adapt. Fueled by determination, Dalek Sek clambered into the flight. His relentlessness drove him to igniting the Dalek forces. "Advance! We will conquer Mechanus. We are superior!" he shouted, and his command pierced through the haze, rallying the Dalek troops around him once more. The enemy was relentless. Wave after wave of mechanoids charged against them, armed with weaponry designed for efficiency. They adapted, evolved, using the terrain to their advantage, setting traps to ambush points to encircle the Daleks. Gradually, they began to gain ground, pushing back against the invaders. In a vital moment, amidst The chaos Mechadox confronted Sek. Personally, they exchanged a testament to their legacy, long-standing rivalry. Sek, resistance is futile. Your race is a plague upon the very universe. We stand united against your tyranny. Mechadox hissed, raising a blaster, unaware of his conviction. For a heartbeat, time seemed to halt. Sek, now regaining his composure, narrowed his eye stalk, calculated his next move. His Dalek programming clashed. Instinct and desire for survival. Life forms must be exterminated. Exterminate the mechanoid. Sek responded defiantly. The battle surged around them, both factions locked in a deadly embrace. The streets of Mechanus were now soaked in metallic debris, reflecting the toll of war. Suddenly, an explosion ruptured from a nearby building, scattered debris causing both sides to falter momentarily. Seizing the opportunity, Sek shouted, "Dalek Alliance! Reconfigure attack patterns! Strike at their weak points!" It was a bold command, and they executed it relentlessly, shifting gears in their own offensive strategy. In response, the mechanics calibrated their tactics as well, reinforcing defensive structures around them, but it was too late. The Daleks surged ahead, reorganizing and energizing Sek's recovery. The battle reached its apex at the center of Mechanus, where energy blasts illuminated the metal sky, shimmering a dance of destruction. Sek found himself once again facing Mechadox, now cornered against the very mechanism of Mechanus. "This is where your empire ends, Sek," Mechadox proclaimed, channeling all of his rage for exchange volleys. Each blaster resonated within the past, each dodge echoed histories of conflict, yet Sek was not to be exchanged so easily. No! The Daleks will not be deterred. We shall claim victory over all. Sek resorted. A final blast concluded their duel as both combatants fell, smoke and debris obscuring the battleground. As dust settled, echoes of anguish rippled across the metallic landscape. The Daleks had conquered Mechanus, or at least they thought they had. Dalek Sek, standing at the forefront, could feel the flicker of life pulsing within him despite the grievous injuries he had sustained in battle. The relentless assault had decimated the mechanoid ranks. But as the last remnants of the mechanical foes fell, the metallic terrain seemed to hum with the promise of more adversaries lurking within the shadows. Exterminate! The chorus of Dalek voices reverberated, the eye stalks scanning for further threats. With every defeated mechanoid, however, more emerging from the recesses. Their mechanical limbs whirring to life, the glowing sensors homing in on the victorious Daleks. Dalek Sec! One of his soldiers queased. Do we continue the extermination or retreat and regroup? Do not falter, we are Daleks! Sec's voice strained, but fervent commanded. Call the special weapons, Dalek. We will obliterate these machines. The order rang out, and the shrill war cry of the special weapons Daleks echoed through the air. Their massive frames emerged from the gloom, weaponry mounted atop them that could tear apart the very fabric of reality. If unleashed correctly, they advanced, their casings gleaming ominously. Exterminate the mechanoids! Cleanse this place! Sec barked, anger flaring within him despite the pain coursing through his circuits. Even in his weakened form, he felt a surge of power, thrill of annihilation, stirring his essence. Special weapons Daleks unleashed a torrent of energy blasts, carving swathes through their mechanical enemies, radiating destruction in all directions. The ground shook after the relentless barrage, as what remained of the mechanoids attempted to regroup, but they were no match for the overwhelming firepower of tactical superiority of the Dalek adversaries. One after another the mechanoids fell, the sound of metal twisting and collapsing resonating through the remnants of Mechanus. But the Daleks knew this victory was not without cost. At last the mechanoids were disintegrated before his gaze. Sec's processes began to falter, fading into chaos and destruction around him. His key systems were failing, yet he clung to existence through sheer will. I must survive! He fought fiercely. I will thrive in the ashes of this world. As victory came to complete fruition, the Dalek fleet assembled above Mechanus like a dark storm gathering. The Supreme's voice broke through the silence. Sec, report. What is your status? We are victorious, Supreme. The mechanoids are exterminated. Sec gasped triumphantly, although he could feel the energies ebbing away within him. Then it is time to purge this world. We have no need of this mechanical detritus, the Supreme declared. Prepare all orbital bombardment. shorted. An icy realization hitting him. No! There may be use for this planet. We could harness its resources. He could feel the pulsing of desperation. Pieces of him slipping away, again holding tightly to his will to survive. The Daleks do not destroy without purpose. Your plea is irrelevant. The Supreme wheeled closer.
You are weakened. Your judgment is flawed. Mechanus must be purged.
The command was given. The Daleks rush to the controls, while Seg struggled against the tide of impending doom. With all the fury and defiance he could muster, he cried out, "I will not allow it!" An urgent flare of energy surged within him, and he initiated the desperate transmission through the Dalek network, hoping against hope to be heard. Final thunderous war, Mechanus was engulfed in a cataclysm. The energies of obliteration saturating all life and material. Dalek sex scream, a blend of pain and resolve. Something like desperation echoed into the void as the planet was consumed. In the aftermath, as the Dalek fleet pulled away from the remains of Mechanus, Sex consciousness flickered, barely holding on. There was nothing but vastness now. Within the vast void, the thought echoed, "I will survive. I will become something more. Beyond the destruction." And so, in the waves of annihilation, the seeds of an uncertain future began to take root, hidden in the shadows of cosmic dust, decaying remnants of what had once been a world alive with machinery. As the Daleks celebrated their triumphant return, Sex essence lingered, trapped between annihilation and evolution, waiting for the moment to rise once more.
Thanks all for the enjoyable video today. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Dalek Empire, or you will be exterminated. There will be no resistance. I am the God of all